Let me ask you a question. Do you see the changes in people? Do you see the changes in things around us? My question is, what is happening to society? What is happening to humanity? And why I'm asking this? Look, there's so many elements I want to cover in this episode, but one main concern I do have, that is that people don't looking after themselves. At least I'm gonna cover my experience right now here in Sydney, where I live, and what I mean by that. Number one, sometimes I think that I'm living in Star Wars episode with Anakin Skywalker on his planet. Everything is beige. Everything what I'm seeing right now, it's beige. No colors. Nobody cares how they look like, how they dress, how they behave. When I said the beige, let's go start with the colors. Before the COVID, I used to be wearing the suit. I'm the one who is wearing suit less and less and less. And I'm seeing in my environment people who don't wear the suit anymore. I don't remember anymore when I saw last time anybody with wearing the suit. Go same for the females. I remember, prior to COVID, everybody was dressing themselves so very well, immaculate, looking, as best possible they can, the physical way, the psychological and everything else. So my question is, are we like living in a prison of some type of the matrix, like Anakin Skywalker? I need to compare with this, on his planet in Star Wars, everybody's in a beige, the big, saggy clothing, everybody can fit themselves. Suddenly we have the same issue. And I can say, I'm the big boy, I'm 130 kilos, man. Don't take me wrong, I'm not the guy who is like a model with a six-pack walking around. I never was. Well, once upon a time when I was in the military, yes, I did have a six-pack. Things have changed. I'm 51 years old, man, 14 fractures, and I was 3 times wounded in a war. So sometimes I give myself the leeway that, the way I'm looking like it's okay, it's not okay. I'm still competing in the boxing. I'm still going to the gym. I come to this part a little bit later. Let's go back in the Matrix, Anakin Skywalker and Star Wars. Everything is in beige. People don't wear the colors anymore. Regardless, in Australia, it's a very dangerous winter. We have the very cold winters. Not, of course not. People don't wear any more suits, male. I don't see the women looking at themselves either. Maybe I live in a different suburb, maybe. But it cannot be. Sydney has almost 6 million people, and people are looking different comparing from 2020 till now. Everybody is wearing tracky duck suits, Japankers, the Crocs. They are different, and I can't understand why. I know when I go in a shop, I try to find some t-shirts. It's everything for the, the size of the midgets, large is the biggest size. So obviously we don't have manufacturing anymore. Something is changed. I don't know what, and I don't want to go there into depth reasons why this changed. But no suits, which means no self-pride. I don't see people have the pride anymore. As much as I'm talking to everybody, people's behavior has changed. So a part of being in tracky ducks, the track suits and and the shorts and everything else. The second thing, it's a behavior. People becoming distant from each other, become more angrier, become more upset. I'm not sure what that it is. I've been in a war. I've been in a war for 1,800 consecutive combat days, and I never saw mad people around me. I saw the afraid people who grieved the losses, people who couldn't handle anymore, PTSD, but so many angriness I never saw in my life. Which leads me another thing, that angriness is being translated. It's a marriage with the car. So you take that behavior, which I saw, and there people go in the car. The recklessness in driving, it's just become astonishing. I'm seeing people it's become careless in the roundabouts, on the lights, Before, everyone was like, I'm sorry, mate, showing the hands to the window, apologizing and trying to portray themselves differently. Something is changed. I don't know what fucking changed, but something is changed. And I can't hack this code whatsoever in human behavior. From being in some type of matrix, living in a Star Wars episode, everything is beige and everybody wearing that, baggy type of clothing without colors, Then the people goes and the behavior, it's worrying. You know why it's worrying? Because one thing I remember when I was working in service. When I say service, I used to work in military, security intelligence services, diplomatic intelligence, and a few other things. But one thing I learned, that always that implosion will happen with the people you least expected. Implosion, that's mean those quiet ones, the people who are just a little bit adding the oil on the fire, not the pouring oil on the fire, but those on the side. And that's, I can see it's a lot. I'm not a psychologist, I have no idea what's happening, but it worries me. It worries me. That worries me. That anxiety in society worries me. And that, it's bring me to another thing. Now, matrix, beige color, behavior, driving problems, issues I just mentioned, and the list goes on. The society just living to obey the rules and laws and legislations, but in a totally different way than before. And now I want to talk about something else, but it's even more alarming, and that is that people actually tend to look after themselves personally. As I said at the beginning, I'm a guy, 130 kilos. I'm not here to preach what is healthy for you, what is not healthy for you. But I'm a 51-year-old man who has 14 fractures, as I mentioned. I've been wounded 3 times, different ways, knife, explosion, and a bullet. And still, I have the okay cholesterol. I have the good blood pressure. I have the diabetes under control. So I'm still looking after myself. And when I go in the gym, and I'm very blessed, I have a very good coach, Rodney. He's preparing me for the boxing tournament because I'm still competing. I want to compete. I don't want to just sit at my home and eat myself alive in front of TV, watching all this negativity. My problem is very simple. People don't look after themselves physically. What I'll say is, they don't go into gym, they don't exercise. You remember 2020, I remember March, April, May. Seriously, I was thinking everybody is preparing themselves to go on Olympic Games in marathon. Suddenly, now, nobody does this anymore. Nobody does this anymore. That's what worries me, that people don't look after themselves. Instead, are walking around and everything is food. Everything is just eat. I know it's convenient. The brown bag being delivered to you. You can pick up the brown bag. Nobody cooks anymore. And that pisses me off. That becomes suddenly much more cheaper to eat junk food, the garbage food, instead of buying the veggies and the fruits. Well, it's not that people are eating just a lot of fruits and veggies before the COVID, but suddenly we have this epidemic of eating garbage almost for free, as if somebody altering current economic situation to the fast food outlets, not how people can eat more healthier. Vitamins are very expensive, the veggies are expensive, the fruits are expensive. And I mean, what's happened to the society? Why is we going I have feeling that, the Sisyph, he was pushing the rock, up to the mountain, long story short. It's like a Sisyph labor. We're just pushing something, try to go back into some type of normal, but doesn't go. It's actually pushing us down. It's gonna roll over us, that big rock. That's my fear. And only exercise I'm seeing in my suburb, in place where I live in Sydney, it's a freaking trolley from the FMCG, trolley full of food, pushing to the food court to eat more food and then go home. And then you see all this saggy, baggy type of clothing people wearing, and trucky ducks and the Crocs and Japankas don't look after themselves. What's happening to society? Am I only one who sees this? And I'm 50 years old man. I mean, I'm on a sunset side of my life. I'm truly grateful. I lived in communism 20 years. I fought communism. I live in democracy. And I saw all of these things, I'm very grateful. But something is happening with society. So please help me to understand, what is your view on society currently? Are we really living in some type of matrix? Star Wars, beige planet, everything is that color, that nobody exercises anymore, that people don't care for their health anymore, what they're eating anymore. Let me know. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening my little blog. Thank you.